Happy Day starts with a smile. This is Atlantean Gatekeeper, and here is your host, Stefan Palczewski.
I am sure you noticed that this recording is a bit different. Yes, there are some unforeseen forces behind the scene that made me do the stuff this way. And since I am disclosing stuff to you, I need to make a confession. There are days and times that I really want to quit this whole thing and stop doing whatever I am doing. Not that simple. The very moment I thought about that, Mr. Alan Watts popped up. Just a reminder to my listeners that I am one of those very strange people that has the very well developed ESP abilities. What that means that sometimes I can hear those which are deceased, not necessarily the immediate family, but others as well. I can see them as well. It's kind of very strange and weird. I don't disclose that publicly to many people because they try to distance themselves. They are acting like they see a ghost. They sometimes are having very strange ideas what that is. And most of the time they think that I am simply crazy guy. Anyway, a few things happened, and that does not mean that my idea of producing videos and audios is deterred. It's simply temporary on hiatus because I lost many hours of my work. I lost software, so I need to redo everything again. This is gonna take some time. I am not worried. I am not going anywhere. We are always here and we are not going anywhere. Anyway, this episode was supposed to be analyzing the Anita Moorjani NDE. However, that is going to be done on video because it is better to show you some visuals supporting that. Instead, I will say something about the final moment that we are in right now. This is called Kali Yuga. I had no idea when they presented to me something called the human factor. I mentioned that in my previous presentations, but also I was presenting that to you, to some of you, in one of my posts on my website. The final countdown is already in progress and we are right in the middle of that. Don't panic, don't be worried, because this is something that is part of a normal process. The fear that we are all experiencing, I'm sure you too, is self-imposed. This is done for a purpose. This is to give you a chance to refocus your attention, refocus your awareness. We are too much focused on the goodies of the world, money, houses, cars, lovers, and what's not. That's when we are introducing the fear. You need to finally sit down and realize what is important in your life. Believe me, none of those things that I mentioned are. There is not even the being good important at all. We are here to experience life with all there is because we are trying to the spirit or the essence is trying to express itself through all possibilities, not just the good ones that we decided we assign the terms to them, which are good, which are not good. None of that is correct. They are neither good or bad. They are simply just are. The people that doing bad, they are simply players or actors that are acting in such a way that we perceive this as a bad act. Unfortunately, not many understand that, and there is a lot of hostility, and since this part of that concept is growing and growing and growing, the perception of being bad or good is really very huge right now. We need to do something that we can diffuse that. We don't have to because no one is lost. We are always part of the big picture, or every one of us as a single cell is part of a much larger organism, and we never perish. We are never punished. We are never going through some hellish, unwanted or unplanned stuff. We do go through hellish circumstances, but this is only when we want to experience that, when we want to reset our life, when we want to go to the bottom and then start climbing up. Because believe me, when you are on the top, when one of those 4 yugas, the first yuga is the most happy, the most abundant. This is the time of pleasure and plenty. But it's boring after a while, and we want this thing to be more interesting. Then we start declining, slow, gradual, And in the past 3,000 years that we are right now, we are in the final Yuga. This is the fourth Yuga, which is the Kali Yuga. I already mentioned that. And that Kali Yuga is divided also on further on cycles. The cycle that we are right now in it's called the human factor. That human factor is also divided on specific sectors. We are guardians, we are teachers, we are supporters. Each one of us is providing a specific frequency and specific parts to our total collective desire. You need to remember that nature never produces anything that is stupid or unwanted or not needed. Everything that is in our nature, which our thoughts, our behavior are always part of the nature. They are neither stupid, they are neither smart. They simply are contributing in one way or the other to supporting all the elements that we need to experience our life. Nature also is providing us with all the necessary tools that we need. Everything. Nothing is hidden from us. So if someone is saying that they don't want to share that, they are hiding from you something, this is all nonsense. This is just the advertising for buy my product, or follow me. But other than that, nothing ever was or will be hidden from you or restricted for you. Everything you want to know, it's right in front of you. You just need to open your eyes or know how to find it. This is not going to be upfront in very easy form. You need to put some effort to that, because that effort that you put forward to finding information and or certain rituals or whatever that is necessary, because that way you are creating a flow. When we're creating a flow, every element of our life are unfolding the way we design it. When we don't put any effort whatsoever and everything is given, there is a stagnation. Stagnation means death. Perhaps now you understand why we are not constantly in one yuga where there is abundance, pleasure, because at some point there is not much to do and there is not much effort put forward, and all the only goodies are coming towards you, and that's when there is the possibility of complete death. And then some of us, they start moving towards cutting corners, doing stupid things, which is getting more interesting and more interesting until we finally go to a violent, abusive situations where there is blood and pain, and we are under the assumption that when we see blood and screaming people that this is very painful. For some might be because they want to experience that. For plenty is not. It is just the body doing what the body is designed to do. Plenty of those which are in those horrible circumstances, they don't feel pain at all. This is just the auto response of our physical form. I know, because I was in car accident a few times, and believe me, you feel absolutely nothing until after, when you realize what happened, then the pain comes. But in the moment, no, never. I had the NDEs few times. It's not just one, but my NDE already shared that with you. It was very unusual, and some people were asking me, why aren't you sharing all this stuff with the audience? Because there are so many people that are interested in what you have to say, because it's very unusual and very weird. So since that NDE, many things were happening. I had one shared NDE with someone called Richard. He collapsed outside of my door. He was the guy who received the COVID vaccination, and that was the nail in the coffin. His heart simply was destroyed by that, and this is a fact. This is not speculation. It was proven that it was that, and they were trying to help him with this. He was in hospital prior to this, and unfortunately he did not survive. I was lucky guy to assist him with that, and I was very surprised because our relationship wasn't very pleasant. We had disagreements and fights, but apparently someone explained to me recently that the arguments, the fights don't mean absolutely nothing. In fact, the people that love you the most, they give you the most pain. And I'm like, what? Oh boy. So now I know that if I hurt someone, that is pure love. Don't judge me. One of the tools at our disposal that we can use, analyze, and understand are NDEs like mine, like Anita, and many, many others. Also, you need to understand that there is this saying, as above, so below, or as below, so above. We have idiots on both sides. So the assumption that the other side is all goodies, it's not really true. I know that Anita believes that everything is angels and heaven, but it's not really true. She is working with the frequency or the band, or I should say stream. She's part of the array that is working with love and compassion and what's not, and I am supporting that very much because I am also part of that. I am doing not only rescue for some of them that are lost, we are helping them to get to certain locations, which is also, this is all conscious or mental activity where we are making, by doing this form of action where it appears that we are bringing those lost into specific location. This is only mental activity, but it is perceived for not only for me, but the people that we are helping, that we are actually walking with them to a specific place. And I am one of those guys who is doing that. I am not the only one. There are plenty of us. Talking to dead is not that difficult. You can learn that yourself. Having communication, it can be visual, it could be audio, it could be in mental, because most of the conversation that I am having with the temple of Trismegistus or temple of King Thoth, Alan Watts, Bob Monroe, they are mental. They show up sometimes the least expected moments, because when you put forward the desire that you wish you could have some communication with them, they will show up. They do, but they are usually showing up in moments that you least expected, and you know they are around, because that with my ESP I have right away sensations that I know that they are around and they are trying to tell me something, and then I am quiet and waiting for what is happening, and usually the information is so unusual that I am having sometimes trouble to translate that, because when I do and I have the final product of that, I am like, oh my god, how am I supposed to tell people about that? The biggest hurdle for me was the concept of time. When they were showing me this whole thing, and they, like, from the temple of Trismegistus, they are aware what we are going through. They have insight into that. They can be present and observe what we are actually doing. The same thing King Thoth. They are aware of our technology. They are aware of what we think about them. In fact, we are influencing them in ways that we don't even understand. That whatever we need, they are producing for us. They exist in different cycle. That's a different frequency band, but they are sophisticated enough that they have the glimpse into our society, in our making and our function. We have few people here on Earth that have a glimpse into that, what they are doing and how they are functioning, and I am one of those guys. However, I am not making this public because I have nothing to prove. I don't need to. You know that as well. Just because you have no access to that information, it does not mean that you don't know that. But for the purpose of your life, that part of your life is shielded, so you can focus on what's in front of you. And when you are focused in front of you, there are once in a while incidents that are letting you know that perhaps you are too far into the physical, and it's time to step back and start listening to what your inner I am is telling you, and analyze what is being presented to you, because that is part of your program. It is not so important to being good. It is very important to being authentic. The other part that is really very important is that how you respond to specific situation, because those responses, they are giving you format that you are in. We have 3 different bodies, so that one of those bodies starts formatting in such a way that is attracted to different possibilities. And then when our awareness is removed, and we have this moment when we can observe this whole thing from a distance as an observer, not as an actual actor playing that role, then we might be drawn to specific situations based on those responses. So those two things. You don't need to love everyone. You just need to be authentic, real. Don't fight your emotions. If you are pissed off, be pissed off. Don't express that on people by fighting them physically. Just tell them that, get lost, I don't like you. There is no harm in that. You don't have to love everyone, but be authentic. There is one person that is the most important in your life, and that's you. 99% of people on earth right now, they do not love themselves. This is the crucial point. You need to accept and respect yourself. You need to see you like this beautiful, magnificent piece of equipment that has at its disposal everything in front of you. And it is you are the best, the highest being there is. This whole world is giving you whatever you ask for. It doesn't matter if you are aware of that or not. Everything is what is happening in your life is you. Wouldn't that be a good idea to appreciate that and say, I am very grateful for the breakfast, I am very grateful for the car that I am driving. This is fantastic. I am grateful that I freaking wake up this morning. And life is like that. The more you appreciate you understand that you are you, and this whole thing that is presented to you in front of you, all the elements that are unfolding, then you see the other people in much different way. When I, in few episodes back, told some people that this atrocity in Gaza and the gas chambers in Auschwitz and what's not, the Holocaust, those are both connected. These are the same freaking people that were in 1939 to 44, and they are right now. This is the same situation. They are side by side. It is not important the cruelty. The responding to that cruelty is the most important part of our life. You don't have to hate Jews just because apparently people believe that they are doing this damage to Gaza. They might, I don't know, I am not there, I cannot comment on that. But there is also this other part, the Hamas, that is probably doing something to the Jews, and I am sure they do, because otherwise the Israeli wouldn't bomb the Gaza for no reason. But at the same time, the responses, people hate Jews. Why? This is coming to them because eventually they are hating themselves. If they are hating Hamas, they are doing the same thing. They are hating themselves. If they are hating Germans or Russians or Americans or Canadians or Polish Canadians like me, they are only hating themselves. No one explained that to you when you were born. Hey, watch for that. When you are upset with your mom or dad, that's you are actually pissed off with yourself, because your mom and your dad, they are the same thing. You are them. They are you. The reason they brought you to life because they want to experience the life through your eyes. And you, even though you may right now not know, but you are experiencing your life through their eyes as well. This is something that, you see, when you are born, there is no manual. This is not like IKEA stuff. You came out of the box and there is the instruction. Read it. Follow the instructions. There is no such thing. You need to find the instructions on your own, and they are right in front of you, except they are not written in written language. They are in senses. They are in intuition. They are in compassion. They are in many other forms, but you need to put that together yourself. I hope that this mumbo jumbo that I presented to you give you a little bit more hope for the future. I will be cranking those episodes as many as I can. As I said, after I make 50 of them, I am going to change the style, because eventually I am inching towards retiring and completely focusing on this. But when I do that, there is going to be a completely different set. I'm probably going to open a center where I will be actively consulting those who want. And one thing, and I will always repeat that at least once in every episode, I am not here to change your beliefs. I am not here to change your religion. If you are a religion person, I don't care. This is your personal stuff. I am only here to help you understand what you're doing, where is that coming from, and how this can benefit you. Because Just because you are a religious person does not mean that you are a bad person or ignorant person or less of a human than those which are, for example, working in the spirituality niche, which most of them are con artists, or the personal development, because most of them are also con artists. The only thing they do is to hook you up to buy their programs, to buy their cruise, to go on a retreat, to go on a webinar, to have a personal coaching. This is all about money, not providing you with something that you need to do. You need to decide what you need, what you want, and then you design your life based on that, what you think you need, not to follow instructions from some other guy which is trying to make you like him. That's not in my case. If you are independent, you disagree with me, please give me a shout. Just leave me a comment, write me a letter. Even better, if you had NDE and you didn't post that yet or told anybody, I'm going to be more than happy to share that on this platform, and let's let the people judge for themselves what really that means. And that's it for today. I am happy to be with you here. I enjoyed every second of that, and see you next time.